Hey everyone, I'm Rachel,
And I'm Jen, and welcome to Devilish Bookworms, the podcast.
where we read and review books and release episodes every Tuesday.
This week we have Untraced Magic by Rachel Scotte.
Yay!
Morgan, a young woman who's had a ton of tragedy in her life, decides to start over. She decides to adventure to a little town called Cutter's Cove to start a new life. Little does she know, this is where her past will come to light. She finds out why her parents have given her up. And unfortunately for her, she also learns the hard way why she should have stayed away. She's immediately drawn to a mysterious man, and thankfully, he's there when she needs him the most to deal with these past moments that will come to haunt her.
Dun dun dun.
So, Rachel, what did you think of this book?
So this book was a book that we got as an advanced reader copy, and I thought it was really fun. That it was very entertaining. It is the author's first novel, and I thought it was a really fun first book, you know.
Absolutely. She really did do a good job, especially for her first book. I mean, it was captivating, it had different elements into it, and I think overall it kind of kept me glued to it.
Like it did a lot of world building, you know, and you got to be in her shoes, in Morgan's shoes, as she's new to this town and she meets all of these people. And the more that she talks to these people, she starts unraveling different things from her past. And so we are kind of on that journey with her, discovering things as she discovers them. And then, of course, Jen and I don't do any spoilers, but the last like 100 pages, bam, right in the face. There's twists, there's turns, you know. Um,
Hmm.
I had stuff that I didn't see coming, that's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely kept me on my toes, and that is usually unexpected. I mean, the fact that like I kind of had a feeling some things were going to happen, but ooh, she really did throw a kink in there that I really didn't expect, and I was really happy about it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there were a couple of things that like kind of followed like natural storytelling, you know? So like there were a couple of things that happened that I was like, "Oh, I bet this," you know? But man, one of them. Um so I want to start off with that dedication. So the dedication says, I believe this person's name is Manny. I'm sorry if it's not. It's Mani. To me that says Manny. So
mhm.
Manny, for believing I could move mountains when I was barely treading water. And I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. I
That
was
is really
like,
sweet.
and I'm doing this podcast with someone who believes that I can move mountains when I'm barely treading water. Hmm.
Mm. Oh,
I know.
my heart.
Did you click on her Spotify playlist?
I did not.
I think it's a cool thing to do. I love this is the first time I clicked into a Spotify playlist and I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I thought it was such a cool thing to do. Like you literally just pop on the music and then just read the book and you just vibe and you get that kind of ambiance, I guess you could say. Um, so you're like feeling the vibe of it, you know, it's like a soundtrack. The
Mm,
soundtrack to Untraced Magic.
that's really cool. So honestly, the one thing that I really want to bring up is I absolutely love the first chapter, the fact that it was unknown. It was like a very brief chapter, but it was kind of the moment where you f- you see like what happened behind the scenes, and then you get the whole story.
Mhm.
So the way that she did that, I absolutely love that. Um, I know there's been a couple of books where I do get that, but at the same time, I love the way that she did it. It perfect.
Yeah. I will say that I was a little confused. I think I read a certain part wrong because I think that the first sign the first line in the book or that part says you must take her, and then
Hmm.
it says she looks at her son and flees. And so after having read it, I completely understand. But at first, when I was first reading it, I was like, did it say you must take her and then now it's a son?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Did it trip you up too?
Yes, it did. I actually went back and reread it just to be sure that I read what I read. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I thought it was actually kind of like intelligent to do because you immediately are thrown off of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love that she did was there was a bunch of comedic moments in this book from just the way that the friends that are in the book they were bantering back and forth, but there was a moment where one of the guys was pissed off and Sky looks over at him and says the last thing we need is another male with his sack and a twist. I literally lost my shit because I've never heard anybody say that. Like, you always say don't get your um what is it?
Like
Well,
your
now
panties in a twist.
yeah, panties in a twist. Thank you. I couldn't think of the line.
Hmm.
Um, but I've never heard anybody say get their sack in a twist. So,
It was funny. So Sky is the sister of the main male character. So the main female character is Morgan. The main male character is Tyler. Tyler's sister is named Sky. And there's also like a bunch of other people, like there's Colton and Wesley and like
Jade,
Scarlett. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other people.
yeah.
Um, so the first time, so Morgan comes to this town and like she's walking in town, she meets a bunch of people. She's, there's a cute moment with her and a mysterious mechanic. Um, and then like the first interaction that she has really in the town, other than the person with whom from whom she purchased her house, is the people next door. And so the people next door is kind of like it's a house where like a bunch of friends just kind of like got together and like live in the house, you know? And I've lived in one of those houses before. It was so fun. It was so fun. Like the boys would have a party and I would like be sleeping because I would have to work the next day. And then I'd wake up in the morning and I'd have to like like walk over bodies of people like just passed out in the middle of the floor. Um, but so she meets everyone in a basement party, right? Like you got that it was a basement party too, basically.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I need more basement parties in my life. I've actually been talking about basement parties a lot lately because everyone like I don't know wants to go out and party and do all this stuff and I'm very much a basement party kind of person. Like I just want to chill, some beers, you know, sit around
Mm-hmm.
talking, being a bum, you know.
Yep. Ah, those were the
Yeah.
good old days.
That's
We
the
used,
vibe, dude.
dude, we used to go to so many basement parties.
I've had basement parties, you've had basement parties.
Yeah,
Our
I
prom
had.
night was it you had a basement party.
Yep. Prom night, my birthday. Ooh, remember the freaking birthday that there was literally there was fist fights downstairs in the basement. It actually reminded me of
Huh.
that.
Kind of like this book.
Yeah, I definitely had some flashbacks to the basement parties when I was reading it.
They're just so chill, dude. But even when they're high energy, they're just chill. So that's what this was. Like literally, like it's just a bunch of people just kicking back. Like they had beer, they were just chilling. The dudes were wrestling or like fighting. Um, and this person that she's never met before. And just like they keep having these little moments of like staring at each other. And like this is the first real interaction with him. And he like takes off his shirt to fight and throws it at her and she catches it. And I was like, that's cuter than it should be.
See, me, I would have been like, ew, and threw the shirt down.
Yeah, you totally
But
would have.
it's just how I am as a person. Like, I can't help it. But I really wanted to be at this party because
Hmm.
I felt like I could vibe with all these people. Like, just there, everything about them just screamed our type of people, like our old crew, how it
Yeah.
used to be.
Yeah.
And I, it's not just the basement party, but even when they went out to the bar, when they were just
Hmm.
hanging around the house, like all everything about them just screamed like people I wanted to be around. And I miss having that. It's like it's so weird not to have that.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the people that we used to have that with too are kind of like maybe they're different, or I know that there's definitely a distance situation, but
Hmm.
yeah, no, I miss having those people that I could totally just chill with, you know,
Yep.
just like have bonfires with or whatever. I actually, one of my notes is that like this is my version of the quote unquote boy next door, the quote unquote girl next door. Like this is my quarterback and the cheerleader. You know what I mean? Like when people think
Okay.
of like that everyday kind of, meet, fall in love, blah blah blah. They always picture a certain thing. Well, this would be what I would picture because just like you said, they're more of our type of people, you know?
Hmm. Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. See, for me, I think you and Reed would have gotten along very well. Like very
Yeah.
well.
Why do you say that?
I have no idea. Just, things. There was so much to this book because even once they left the party and all that, like obviously there was this still immense attraction from Tyler and Morgan towards each other, but she decides she's going to stay away from him and she's going to go get a job working at a bar. Well, lo and behold, does he show up at the bar? But
Well,
at
here's
the
the thing.
I swear to God, I know where
Mm,
you're going with this. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, no, I can't. I really want you to say this.
He literally tells her, he says, "Hey, I think Reed might need some help at the bar." And then she goes, "Okay, cool. I'll check it out." Then she goes to the bar, gets a job with Reed, and then they're like, "We thought that we weren't going to be running into each other." And it's like, he's the one that told you to work at the bar. I was so confused when they were like, "Oh man, we're always running into each other." Uh, yeah.
See, and I caught on to the same thing, and I was like, "That's his friend. Like, what? Obviously, he's gonna be there. They had freaking VIP access to the fucking bar, and he's not gonna be there. No, he's just
Yeah, you
gonna
guys
stay
literally
away."
went there.
uh,
Like you all as a group went there. And then it's like, "Oh no, I'm, running into you again." Yeah.
oh,
If you know someone frequents a spot, chances are good you'll find them at that spot.
oh my God, that's like this woman came in, and she's like, "I was wondering when I was gonna run into you," and I'm like,
The next time you come into the store,
"For day you can run into me."
I'm
Oh,
dead.
it's just it was so funny. I'm so glad you caught that too.
I did. And I wonder, part of me wonders, like, okay, so we did say that this is Rachel's first book, and we're not laughing at this. We're laughing with this, right? Like it's not like a haha, if this was a genuine like oversight or whatever, like we're not making fun of it.
Oh
It's just
God,
one of
no.
those funny things that happens in books, you know what I mean? And like I just couldn't, I read it and I was like, uh-huh.
Oh, it's just I think it's funnier because it happens in real life, and you're just like, wait, what the fuck? Like, why did you not expect this? Oh Lord. But yeah, that was a great moment.
That was really funny. I'm glad that you cut it too.
I've been waiting
So,
to bring that up.
so this bar of which we speak, um, is Reed's bar. So Reed is the owner of the bar, and this book delves into the supernatural. And essentially, the premise is everything that you think of might exist exists. Like any story you've ever told, been told, every myth, whatever, it's all real, right? And so they kind of all congregate at this bar. In fact, this town is kind of like a very supernatural type town. There's humans that live in it too, but mostly they're um different flavors of people. And so like I thought it was cool how she put all of these different kinds of beings together, and like the feeling of the bar, or the vibe of the bar on like quote unquote vampire night, was different than a different type of night.
I was expecting more supernatural creatures.
Mm-hmm.
But the main ones we got were witches, werewolves, and vampires,
Mm-hmm.
which totally fine. Absolutely fine. But I was like, ooh, what else could she come up with for this town? And if I remember correctly, this is going to be a series. So
It is, yeah, the Cutter's
I,
Cove series.
yeah, so I'm actually excited to see what elements she brings into the next book, to see if
Mm-hmm.
there might be another supernatural aspect of like character that they bring in, or if it even follows the same people. Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, because some series follow the same people, and then some series follow different people. Like maybe the
Yeah,
next book's about Wesley or Reed, or
I
whoever.
mean, it could be a standalone. You never know.
You never know. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. So this is like, I don't know if it's because it's a first novel, or like, whatever. Um, there were things that I noticed, right? Like words that were a couple words that were misspelled, a couple sentences that were kind of like a little um either run on, or a couple things. There were some things that I found. So like all things, it's not perfect, but I actually genuinely enjoyed reading it.
Absolutely.
So Morgan was adopted, right? So she doesn't know her birth parents or birth family. She did have an adoptive family, but they're no longer around, and she's kind of an orphan at the moment. Well, I mean, not at the moment. She's kind of an orphan. Um, but there was a necklace that she received from her birth mother when she was put on the steps of, like, what was it, like a fire station or whatever, something. But it reminded me. Jen, have you ever seen Elvira, Mistress of the Dark?
I have not.
Okay, I think that's really sad. But there's a part in Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, where baby Elvira was put on like steps, and she was given like this beautiful, I think it was a ring or like a necklace, something. It's been a while since I've seen it. Um, and it kind of reminded me of that, like this little witch baby. Like, I mean, the little baby Elvira had full on makeup and stuff. It was just really funny.
Wait, they put makeup on a baby?
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's
it was a
adorable.
movie.
Well, I know, but like I didn't a baby you wouldn't think like would have makeup to look like Elvira. Like
Oh no, full
so
on cat eyes
oh
and
my
red
God,
lipstick. It was hilarious.
that's adorable.
Unless that gets us canceled, in which case it was terrible. It was awful. Freaking cute, but it was terrible.
Oh my goodness. You're too much. I know there's been few different movies with the necklace thing. I want to say there was something like I think it was Tarzan, wasn't it Tarzan? I don't fucking remember. Never mind.
Like which one? Like the Alexander Skarsgård one?
No, it wasn't the Alex Skarsgård.
Sorry. I swear other stuff happened in that movie, but
It's Alex
couldn't tell you
Skarsgård,
what they
wasn't it?
are.
I can't stand you. Oh, so I love the way that she described this freaking town. I want to move to this town.
Okay.
So at one point she goes, its murky waters look like death floating on a blanket of midnight, always surrounded in that mist that felt like it was a living thing, like it watched us all.
Yeah.
Creepy, creepy as fuck, and I want to be there. I love that. So it gave it that like weird ass creepy vibe, but also like what was that movie? Twilight. Where it's like barely ever sunny out, but it's like hazy, bright, but never warm, just kind of cold and look. That's the kind
Mhm.
of vibe I was getting from this. And I I kind of loved it and I want to move there. I want creepy vibes every day. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I couldn't because I need sunshine.
No, I don't need sunshine. I'm I'm all right.
Literally, I just need to soak up all the sun.
No, I really like areas like that, like those just like I don't know. Everyone else says that like overcast and cold and rainy is like gloomy and depressing and I think I love it.
Especially if you had like a Sabrina Spellman house. That
Stop.
would be, I know. Oh, how fucking great would that be, though?
Really great. Really,
Gloom
really
and
great.
doom. Yeah, gloom and doom with a great house. I'd be okay.
Of course, Morgan starts up a relationship with Tyler, like they're the main characters. Um, and this book is, it does have explicit content in it. Um, and I promised Jen that I would never overanalyze again. I will try to not overanalyze again. Um, so I won't talk about like sex magic or sex transmutation. But I do think that it's a beautiful idea of like when they were together, there was like, magical flowy energy around them and like lights and stuff. I thought it was a cute scene. I hope that's not spoiling anything, but I thought it was cute.
I don't think it spoils anything.
The problem with this book was like it was cute and it was entertaining, but I
Hmm.
didn't have a lot of notes on it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it was kind of a straightforward story like and it was enjoyable and I liked reading it, but it just didn't have a lot of talking points.
Right. It really didn't. I mean, their love and attraction to each other was really adorable. Like, I love how
Mm-hmm.
protective he was of her. I love how much they're like they felt the connection with each other. I love that aspect, but there
Mm-hmm.
other than that, there really wasn't, as you said, too many talking points. Like there's there's substance. There's a lot of spoilers.
That's exactly it. Because if we talk about her past, there's spoilers. If we talk about, how she finds things out, there's spoilers. If we talk about pretty much anything, there's spoilers. And it makes for a good book because like everything kind of leads into each other. But at the same
Mhm.
time, like it's hard to talk about.
It really is. Like like Rachel just said, that there's so much that you just can't pick and choose from. Like there's so much that pops up in little bits of time.
Mm-hmm. And the things that we want to talk about, we can't. Like, I want to talk about a certain someone, you know,
Yeah,
but
I
we can't.
do. No, we
You know
can't.
what I do want to talk about is that black tie, the werewolf party.
Oh, yes. You must attend or you are an untrusted. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like everyone laughs and like jokes that I'm really bougie. I want to go to a black tie event like that so bad. So bad.
I want what happened in the library.
That
Yeah,
was
kidding.
just it was a wonderful party all around.
It was neat to see like how different these two groups chose to live. And especially, like werewolves, you would think they would want to be living towards the rough and tumble side. No, no. No, no, they want the bouge. They want the bougie. And that is totally up your alley. Possessive
I mean,
male, boozy background. You could dig it.
it's definitely nice to read.
Big library.
That's nice in real life.
uh, so, did you have a favorite character?
I actually did not because I liked different aspects of each character. And like the friend group was so dynamic in that each person had the what I loved about their friend group is that each person gave something to the friend group, right? Like it wasn't just um I don't know, like each person played their role in the friend group, you know?
Mhm.
And so I can't pick a favorite one out of them, although I will say Sky is another Alice Cullen.
I knew you were going to say that.
She
I have
was.
I have to say something about her.
Okay.
There there was one thing that drove me absolutely fucking bonkers
What?
when they were getting ready to go out and she's like, "You need Lippy."
Oh, yeah. No, I got that. I got that. She said it and I was like, "Excuse me?"
I don't know why, but that struck a nerve.
That's the you know why? Rachel, I genuinely loved this book and I loved reading it. It was very entertaining. I enjoyed it a lot. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
God, I'm dead.
Libby just
I
hit me a certain type of way, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did not a fan. I like
Could you
everything
imagine
about
if
her.
I talked to you like that?
I probably
Jen,
would have slapped you.
Jen, you need Lippy.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
genuinely I liked her character except for then. Like,
Yeah, no, I get it.
you're not leaving without Lippy. I'm like, oh, said it again. Ugh. Okay. Whew.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I would have been so upset if we had finished this podcast without talking about it.
That was like the one like major note that I had.
What the hell is Lippy?
That tells you that like everything about this book was fine. Like it was great. But Lippy.
You know what I take umbrage with, and I've been thinking about posting this on Threads for a while. Is this book is very cute, right? It's cute. It was a fun read. Um, we sometimes uh review books on the podcast that are that, right? They are cute. They're books that are like fun. You want to read them because you want to like put your head in a different space for a little while, right? And like I recently came across some people who were and in in the literary world, people are going to be pretentious, right? People are going to be like, oh, that's not Faulkner. Oh, that's not, Hemingway. Oh, that's not whatever, And I get that. But it is possible to enjoy like Twilight and the Shawshank Redemption. It is possible to like enjoy a fun book that you want to read and then also a great novel. Like you can definitely do both. And I saw some discourse on Threads, or you know what? It wasn't even Threads, it was Book Talk. Book Talk seems to be the most toxic place. Like, I'm almost glad that we're garbage at it. Like, we're so bad at it, and part of me is like, nah, that's fine. These bitches suck.
Garbage
um,
at it.
because like it's always on like the Book Talk quote unquote girlies that people comment and they're like, this is just porn, you just like porn, you're so toxic, ew, you're so gross. And I'm like, let people read what they want to read. And just because you read something that others might not deem like good, who gives a shit? Like, I don't know. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but like, just because you like something that's fun and light doesn't mean that you are intellectually stunted, or doesn't mean that you have zero taste in books. Like, you can do both.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no reason that there can't be a balance between sweet and salty or sweet and spicy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you pick and choose your battles because that is not a battle worth fighting for.
But they do it. And I'm like, ew, what was the last book you read?
I know. It's like, let me read what I want
Douche.
to read. If I want to read Edgar Allan Poe and get on the dark side, fine. I can also go to Radiant Sin to get on the dark side of some other stuff. I could go to Hooked. Ooh, Hooked. Oh, that was that was a great book. Or if I want to be cozy, I can read this again. Just saying.
Well, I'm like, so on my bookshelf, literally, there's like a book of poetry by William Blake that's next to a book, from there's Jane Eyre's right there. Then there's Dracula, and there's different. I have some. There's all kinds of stuff, like I can like
Hmm.
stuff that's cute and light too.
Yeah, I have Phantom of the Opera next to Butcher and the Blackbird.
Yeah. Did you read
I
that one? No, you haven't. You haven't
I
yet,
I
huh?
looked no, I literally just got it last week.
Mm, I've heard good things.
I have two. There's so much on my TBR. I
Yeah.
really it's so bad. Like Her Soul to Take is like towards the top, as well as The Call of the Sea by one of our thread friends, Kate Schumacher.
Yeah.
That one is like number 3 on my list right now.
I don't even have. No, I do have a list. We're currently reading for next week's book, The Arising by Brian Way. Yeah, so I'm currently reading that, and then I have to start It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Don't come for me. Like, I'll read the book if I want to read the book. Bite me. I've never read a Colleen Hoover book, and it's one of my good friends' favorite books, so I'm a freaking read it. And then I also have um
Wait,
hmm,
wait, wait, wait. I need you to read Verity as well.
well, I
I'm
I
just
went with It Ends With Us because that's her favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, like afterwards, like in the future, just read Verity.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I actually want to read Layla
Ooh.
because I heard that it's supernaturally like if there's a ghost.
Ooh.
And I
Ooh.
think she said it's like her only book that's like that. Like, it's very different from her normal books. And I'm like, I'm good with that.
I had actually come across a book like that not too long ago, but I think I put it on my list to be read, but it's gonna take a while to go through that.
Our TBR is out of control.
It's
I know that's
it's
the running
literally
joke and everyone's is, but like ours is insane.
I like I will be long dead before I even get through a quarter
That
of
is
my
the most
TBR.
depressing thing you've ever said, and I need you to take it back.
I can't take it back, but it is the most depressing thing I've ever said.
You could have taken it back,
I
but you
can't.
decided not to.
I
Um,
can't lie. I can't lie.
you don't know that.
I do know that because even by the time I'm like 90 something years old, I probably won't get it through a quarter of the books.
You're just spouting off nonsense now.
No, because there's so many. I keep adding more to it every day. It's like it's
We do keep adding more.
for every book that I read, I add 10 more. So you do the math.
You do the math.
Oh,
But the good thing is that we get to add them. Like some of them we just add to the podcast, and then we can just schedule knocking it out. You know.
yeah. Like when Rachel uh had this one available like for an ARC and you signed up for it and I was like, "Ooh, we definitely should read that."
Yeah. Well, plus too, like last month and this month, we're getting to some that we've been wanting to read for a while. You know.
Mm,
So I just love it. I just love
yeah.
it.
Same here. Mm,
You asked me what my favorite character was, and then we went on a huge tangent. Did you have a favorite character?
Um, so if I'm going to be honest, I actually liked Colton or Colt. Um,
I can see that. You overprotective, overbearing son of a bee. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
I'm just
No,
kidding.
no, that's facts. Absolute facts. Like, I'll own it. But he also is an earth mage, which means he grows plants, and I dig that. Him
Hmm.
and I would get along very well.
Yeah. No, I actually, what's funny is I did see you in Colt because it was like he was the one friend who was always kind of looking out for everyone else.
Hmm.
So I did see that. I did make that connection.
Oh,
Hmm.
I'm so happy.
Did you have a favorite quote?
Okay, so listen, I wrote down one,
Alrighty.
two, three, four quote.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, so first one is getting close to someone meant they got to know you well, and that I couldn't afford.
Facts.
Facts, absolute facts. Next one is I loved how music had a way of taking you back to your past or escaping the present.
Mm.
Next one, secrets are better kept sober and in one's own company. Again,
Absolutely.
again, facts. Like,
Yeah.
but all right, my favorite though. Instinct was a venomous thing, deliberate and ruthless. It held no grudges, made no assumptions. A naked thing inside that stripped you of any connection or bias.
Hmm.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I I like it. What about you?
I like it. Um, so I liked there was one quote where it was from Tyler's point of view, and someone was he was leaving someone to watch Morgan, and he said, I was trusting him with my heart. And I thought that that was so sweet.
Everything about Tyler was just incredibly sweet. As much of a hard ass as he tried to be, he was the most mushy one, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more thing I want to bring up.
Hmm.
So when she ran after being overwhelmed with everything that was happening,
Hmm.
and she ran to this one spot that he had reservations about, and he broke down and had a panic attack.
Hmm.
I literally I had to stop reading because I was just like the amount of emotion that was just brought into that, like the way that she wrote his panic attack. I felt so bad for him because you
Hmm.
could tell it was just like so much raw emotion, and I was
Mm.
great moment.
So
Great
then how
moment.
did you feel later on in the book?
Mm, we cannot discuss that.
I really liked that a lot.
Yeah.
The later on,
Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
that was really I like the way she wrote that.
There was a lot of things I liked the way she wrote in. Can't lie.
I can't lie.
Good job. Good job, especially for your first book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just gonna wipe away these little bits of tears over here. No, I'm kidding.
All right. This book was the first book in the Cutter's Cove series. It was written by Rachel Scotte, and you can find her on Instagram, Rachel Scotte author, RachelScotteAuthor. She's actually from New Zealand. And fun fact, so last week our author was from Canada. This week our author's from New Zealand. Next week our author is from Philadelphia. It's one of the coolest things about what we do is that we get to like talk to and like review books from people from all over the world, and I kind of love it.
Oh yeah, we get a chance to experience a little bit of everywhere, and it's great.
Yeah. Rachel has a website, RachelScotte.com, and there you can see her books. So there's obviously Untraced Magic, and then her next up book, which is yet untitled and also does not have a cover. So that's pretty rad. You can pre order Untraced Magic on her website. She also has a newsletter that you can sign up for and a little blurb like about the author. Um, I am going to read the second one probably.
I need to.
Yeah.
It like that's the one thing that kind of irks me about everybody making a series these days is that I'm gonna need to read the next one. Like I need to read the next one of Angel's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
I need to read the Bitter Seeds. I need to read um hers isn't the a continuation, but the second book to for Lila Taylor.
Oh, the one
Like,
about Cinderella.
yeah. I like
Yeah.
it's like I love you guys for it, but I also hate you for it because it's like now I've just added more to my TBR.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because we have so many books that we want to read already. And then we read books. And you know what else? It's like they're all so sweet.
Oh,
Like
the authors?
the authors are so nice.
Yeah, they really are. They're so cute and they're so
Mm.
grateful. And like I I don't understand like how they're so nice, but
I appreciate it. Like, so I know
oh
that there
yeah.
are a lot of people on socials that are kind of sketchy or like this whole pay to review, which I think is disgusting. Um, but they go through and like they have to deal with a lot of crap, right? Like people signing up for ARCs and then not reading the books, or like, a ton of stuff. And to still be as like gracious and grateful as they are, and giving us the grace to not be perfect. Like Lila Taylor, we had her book as an ARC, and I did post a review about it before, but she was just still so sweet. Like when we did the podcast episode about it, everyone's
Mm-hmm.
just so nice.
Yep. And everybody loves the reel that we make them, and that's always a pleasure. I love
Yeah.
making some of those. Like, you freaking make some really good ones, though.
Thank you. I need to step up my game, I think.
Step up your game. She's like out, like here, freaking making all this happen, and I need to step up my game.
I need to
Okay.
step up my game. I also got a second job.
I need to read 3 books a week now,
I do.
maybe
So
5.
I have I actually am constantly on 3 books, I've decided. So I have our podcast book, and then I have an audiobook that I work on. Well, that I
Mm-hmm.
just, listen to. And then I'm trying to do physical books. So the last book I finished was Sanctuary of the Shadow, and I didn't post about that one. I feel like I should, and maybe I will. But yeah, I feel like that's the only way that I can possibly um catch up on my TBR that's ever growing.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like right now, I'm on the Amazon Kindle store, and I'm looking at different books by Carrie Lake
Ugh,
because
ma'am,
I really needed a Carrie Lake in my fucking life right now.
dude. Nightshade. I want to do that one.
I That's one that I was looking at, or I was thinking about doing the Isle of Sin and Shadows.
Yeah. Mm. Anywho,
Before we go down another rabbit hole.
another one. Jen, can you tell everyone what we are reading next week?
So next week we are reading Life After the Arising by Brian Way.
Yay! This might be funny. I don't know if he's gonna listen to this episode, but at first I thought it was Brian May, and I was like, no, it's not from Queen.
Jeez.
I'm really tired.
Uh, I know. Well, at least now you get to go get some hopeful, much needed rest.
Sure, I do. All right, everyone. So, if you enjoyed this episode of Rachel just rambling incoherently for 45 minutes, then check out our other episodes and follow us on all the socials, where you can see Jen try and make sense of my chaos on a daily basis.
Wow.
We're at Devilish Bookworms everywhere.
Yay.
Yay!
Well,
Poor Jen. I don't know how she lives with me.
I love every second of it. I don't understand how she deals with me, but we cope with each other.
Beautifully. We're each other's handlers.
Yeah. Ooh, I forgot to update my Goodreads. All right. Well, have
Ooh.
fun, everybody. I've got some work to do.
And we will see you next Tuesday.
Haha, cunt.
Bye.
Bye.